Look at beautiful KP on the screen.
Oh, man. Some production value, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Big 4. Don't they know he's position 3?
Ah.
It should be big 3.
Okay, so they have a lot of vision aspect too right now for TNC, right? They have the Tombstone with Glimpse. That's one of my old favorites.
Okay, yeah.
Tombstone gives you the 1200 vision in nighttime, daytime, so you can see.
Zombies will just have their own vision.
Yep. That's one of the actually. This is another vision hero. This was actually I was going to mention. So this is something that KP and I feel like God, who was it with? I talked to Jack about it. It's like Lana, I think it was Lanem, KP, and someone else, and they talked about just like the vision game with Disruptor and Undying, and now additionally the TA.
Yeah, because we would very commonly see him with Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
And that was the main go-to.
Now, they picked the TA pretty fast after Lina was shown.
Yeah.
You feel like that Lina is indeed going to be a mid? Because we have seen it as...
Nope.
No,
there you go, never mind. Question answered.
I mean, if you're gonna go for off-the-wall stuff, Jakiro mid is extremely good versus Templar Assassin.
This is true. This is true.
But now that a Death Prophet's on the field, then that's completely ruled out.
Yeah, in the past it was like people started to learn how to play the TA versus Jakiro match because you could just use the side blades and abuse it so much. But now it feels like it's a bit tougher.
It's still really hard.
Yeah. Unlikely to see it anyway, but so I mean, the Naga's still left open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still likely. Like we said, it's probably most likely.
They're also
for
banning out a
Gabby.
ton of offlane heroes, though, so don't really know what's left for KP.
Again, not really much disable on the side of
They can always
TNC.
go for the good old Centaur.
Yeah, KP, so I think Axe, Centaur, and Legion Commander are the ones that typically come to my mind when I'm like, I need a crowd-controlling offlaner.
I want some CC. Like right now, they just have the kinetic field and like ensnare. But that's like you don't even have that till like way later on. You just have a bunch of slows to keep people inside of the Tombstone, which I want them to have something just grabbing. So they'll ban out
their own Legion.
Heroes that KP has played this tournament so far. He's played 5 heroes, all 5 different ones.
Okay.
Veno, Mag, Beastmaster.
Veno, yeah.
Not 5 different ones because he played Veno twice. I can count.
Right.
But he also obviously previous game played the Omni Knight, which is no longer in.
Veno's
but
always a cool
the
hero.
Mag is still in, right? First phase ban previous game.
Yes.
Which one, Magnus?
Magnus.
I don't like it with Naga though.
Okay.
You don't have an you have no empower. It's not really. It's like mediocre at best on Naga, right?
Yeah. She's not as stat heavy as some other agi carries.
But maybe. Maybe Magnus is just so highly favored, but.
Do you need anything that needs to lane against Night Stalker specifically? Because Omni Knight and Abaddon seem like they were banned out because they're very good against Night Stalker. I know in the group stage we saw Monkey King. I don't know if it was offlane, but it was a core Monkey King.
Oh, we saw Monkey King.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't see that.
I don't know if it won, so don't get too excited.
I mean, I never get to see that.
Yeah.
It's only like one team that picks it in the world, it feels like.
Yeah.
Okay, so lots of lockdown on Alliance. That's refraction burning as well. They've got multiple forms of burning that refraction now with Sandstorm as well as Shakiro. And yeah, it's also just good versus Naga. Like Naga, if you had like this early Veil, you can actually clear the illusions and stuff very for a long time until of course you get the super illusions coming out from Naga when she gets her heart and all that. But that's a strong lane too. Sanking Lina, if that is the case, they can put a good amount of pressure.
And that's a lot of magic damage. And so if you want to run Naga as the one position, usually she's tanky because of her armor.
Yeah.
But if no one's right-clicking her, then she's just as squishy as the rest of them.
Yeah, like everyone's all magic damage. It's like Exorcism and the Night Stalker are going to provide some, but besides that, yeah. Yeah, ooh. Maybe they do actually push this Naga offlane. This is kind of cool.
No, they're taking their time. They go for the CK.
Right? I think that is the Naga offlane then.
I think J-Storm... Never mind. So J-Storm is the only other team that I saw run a bunch of CK. They ran at one position every time.
Yeah.
It's going to be one position here.
Wow, that's actually, and I'm not a big fan of CK when you're playing versus into so many AoE disables. Ice Path, Light Strike Array, Sanking Stun, like all these are really strong. Even Night Stalker when he gets Aghanims, clicks Void, and the CK illusions are not really what they used to be of this super powerful
The liquid
kind of thing.
fire on the CK illusions is also killer.
Yeah,
it's like Jakiro is a counter to CK straight up.
Yeah. So then why
Obviously
CK?
you still die if you get focused.
Why CK?
There are many other one positions that could have been picked in this situation.
Yeah, I'm liking alliances again this time around. I think they've got everything that hits like it's the table. Limp played fantastic on Death Prophet, and TNC's for me is
Yeah, I don't.
it's a bit limited. I feel like
The only reason that I would like CK is one, in an aggressive dual lane situation, he's just very strong in dual lanes. I don't really see Undying and CK being able to do that much against any alliance offlane. And then the other thing is maybe if you want to set up for like Miran Arrow, same concept as like Sven, you want a just reliable stun. There's nothing that he can set up. It's just Chaos Bolt is his own. He's the only stun on his team.
Yeah. But they have a stun.
They do have a stun. That
they
is
have
true.
the one stun on him. Yeah.
And so what? The other stunning cores would have been like Wraith King, Sven. I don't know.
Yeah, it was limited.
Yeah. I like Wraith King.
Yeah, we haven't seen him too much recently.
No, we have not.
I like Alliance's draft.
Yeah, Alliances looks pretty strong overall. TNC, I guess their big thing is like fighting around the Roche area. If they can get a decent timing for Armel, he's able to get this like Roche fight. They get an Aegis, they can maybe start to like cruise forward and pick and choose which battles they want with the Disruptor, with the Naga, if they fight on their own terms. But I think Alliance is going to be gunning for them.
Now, one thing you guys didn't know is that during the game previously, it was Toonami that said this game is going to last 65 minutes.
Well,
that was after about 15 minutes.
yes.
What do you think right now? Like, what's your estimate here?
It's not going to be a fast game like we were originally saying in the draft. It's not going to go ultra late would be my expectation.
This is a very on the fence answer, Tsunami.
32 minutes, 14 seconds.
Go. 32 minutes, 14 seconds.
Just quote me on that.
Who is going to win? We don't know. You don't know. But what I do know is that we are all winners because we get to listen to Gods and LD.
Wow, thank you so much, Sheever. It is an honor bringing you game number 2. Gods, they don't believe here in TNC. Are you a TNC hater as well, or do you see hope for them?
Some hope. It's draft-wise, it feels like a tough one, but they've got some players on some signature heroes. That's always a good sign. You know, the KP Naga, Armel playing mid-TA. It does seem like the direction they went overall was like, let's just get some players on their signature heroes and make a draft around that.
Screw meta, you know, screw optimal lineup, just get comfortable.
And there's some good synergy too. Like they got the Naga Disruptor combo. Their team fight does look very potent. So I'd like to think TNC, if there's anyone who knows how to make this offlane Naga work, it's going to be KP on the TNC side, because this is a hero that, as far as we've seen get played, it's almost exclusively as a one position, or maybe you run it mid, but you're always going to get a lot of farm on Naga. Whereas this game with CKT on your team, I don't think we can see KP play that greedy.
Will there be enough space for this tri-core? We'll find out as the bounty runes spawn. Alliance going for the double bottom, and TNC grabbing the double top. So looks like they will be sticking with the tri-lane Sand King initially.
Alliance love their
Not
tri
TP
lanes,
out. Okay, there we
will
go.
not be the case here, I guess. Hanskin with a Blightstone. That's not your everyday starting item, but perhaps this is the 4-position Lina build. Is that minus armor going to give some extra right-click damage in this lane with his harass?
Counter to the seemingly you know, infinite sustained CK maybe. Just try to out harass him with that minus armor.
Yeah, because Sand King and CK theoretically will be trading right clicks quite a bit, and Lina outranges, well, 2 melee heroes in lane, so this Lightstone potentially has some value. It is a 300 gold investment though, so we'll see how it works.
And Hanskin with a lot of early harass. We're going to see Tims make a quick move on mid here as well, trying to help secure Armel's lane.
Where you'd normally expect to see a Disruptor early on. I guess he was sitting mid looking for a courier snipe. He does have boots, so he was probably hoping to get a courier, and then once he realized it wasn't going to happen, he just went for some harass.
Heads back to top now. He's going to join KP, who is sitting 1 and 2. Had a bit of a rough start, but creeps are pushing in, and Tims will arrive. See if he can stabilize that lane.
Yeah, see how the Naga does. I think the key to playing against Night Stalker is just having stuns or lockdown, and the Naga Ensnare does provide that for at least.
CK has long duration stun potentially as well, so.
That was the solution we saw Alliance put into play yesterday against Fnatic, was picking like the Ogre, picking these tanky heroes that have stuns or control, and I think Naga can fit, maybe not so much into the tanky category, but the Ensnare is a very useful tool. And
overall, they just have a lot of ways to potentially punish tower dives. The glimpse also, if he jumps in, doesn't kill the Disruptor, you glimpse him back as he tries to retreat. So I would expect to see Nico Baby play a more conservative Night Stalker game this time around.
Well, the dreaded 2-minute DD rune for the mid lane. Limp. He'll be very happy to have found that one.
Armel's been doing decently here so far. Does have the refraction to deal with some of that damage.
Good news for Armel is he has a health advantage.
Getting the cleave here on Limp.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
So Limp can't play as aggressive as he'd like with the DD rune because of how low he was. He has to salve up first.
And now there's a fresh refraction.
Yep.
So Armel can tank through this damage.
Nice grip storm to get that range creep, and
Well, so much for that. Gets off the Spirit Siphon. Limp is going to go for it. Armel has to quickly pop Fairy Fire and use another refraction to stay
came back
alive.
up, yeah.
Has the salve.
Was the end of Limp's mana. He has a Mango, but very heavy harass trade and regen battle happening in this mid lane so far.
Mango popped, and as you mentioned, the trading continues. How's our Lina doing down bottom? Just contesting the pull, it looks like. CK now starting to bully the Sand King quite a bit. Gabby, nice crit there. Seems like they have not been able to harass the CK too much.
The second point in Chaos Strike, you're getting an extra 15% lifesteal from it, so his sustain in this lane is very hard to deal with. And with the salve still there, Magic Stick, he's going to win the regen battle in his lane. If you want to try and win this lane, you have to go like all in for a kill, for example, but he's just too tanky for that.
Tims makes his move in. Has the one-pointed glimpse. But there is a Dire Observer ward here. It is, of course, daytime. So he won't actually find an opening.
Feeling like he could maybe swing the lane in Armel's favor, even just with a one nuke or something, but feel like this mid lane is heavily going either way just yet. Both players just being forced to use a lot of regen. Limp with a small edge. The DD rune meant he's forced out more regen from Armel than he's had to use himself.
The good news for TNC is they've got a lot of heroes that can enjoy stacks, and those have been getting farmed or stacked up by the Disruptor as TNC find their first blood bottom.
With the Sentry Ward,
Very nice.
Sand King couldn't stay invis.
And Skin is doing good work here on March, who is going to stand his ground and just die.
It's one of those ones like, am I in NA pub? Is somebody just going down mid? But no, very, very tactical from March. He knows he can't offer anything in lane with no mana, no health, and the best thing he can do is just die as fast as possible and TP back in and bring Gabby his items.
Why are you flaming NA pubs, guys? They are a pinnacle of Dota excellence.
A lot of great players have come out of NA, but
And particularly NA pubs.
yeah.
That's why we always have a new in-house
That's-
league, because the pubs are so great.
If you could survive NA pubs, you can. That's when you know you can make it, LD. That's what that tells me.
I just want to say there's 3 NA teams in the upper bracket here.
Yeah, they've had
At
to
MDL
endure.
for all the MDL for all the haters on the number of slots awarded. Mid lane, Armel taking some damage here. He's a little short of the mana for a refraction, and he will pay the ultimate price as Limp gets the kill. Gabby, meanwhile, in the bottom lane, gets that critical Chaos Strike to keep himself alive, but Hanskin laying in the damage. Salve will come out. Needs a tango as well.
Limp is crushing mid right now. It's
That DD rune, you think, the main reason? Or
one of the reasons.
33, taking some heavy damage here. Gabby, though, being forced back to support Lina.
Nice clip.
Already
too, with
level
this creep
4
wave.
and just punishing.
Yeah, Gabby just salved up and he's still very low in health, so they're doing a good job pressuring him under the tower.
Well, Armel is back to his stacks, which have been very disciplined stacking by Tims. Try to give this TA a path back into the game. He'll take the mid lane as well. Grab some levels because he has been roaming a lot. Well, top lane though, KP. Looks like he should be going down unless he's got some crazy jukes. He does not. Nico Baby grabbing the kill. And halfway now to his point booster.
Just phase boots, Night Stalker things. Has the axe queued up. This is all you need. Is just phase boots, Magic Stick. Sometimes you get like a Ring of Bassi in there, but doesn't need it, he says, for this lane. Limp's throwing his first Exorcism with the Siege Creep. He's just trying to get as much damage as possible onto this tier 1 tower. We're not going to likely see him claim it. Limp running forward.
Coming right into the middle of Armel and Tims. They do have a glimpse. They're going to reel him back, but the trap deployed. Limp, he's overextended. Is he going to go down? One more auto attack does the trick. A much-needed kill for Armel and a cocky play by Limp.
Yeah, just a bit too aggressive there. I think he knows how much of an advantage he'd built up, so he just felt a bit too confident as a result. And good punish from TNC. Limp
Now the TA ahead of him and Exorcism blown.
And considering he survived 65 minutes without dying last game, it was not what you'd expect out of this man. He's plays very conservative Dota a lot of the time.
They're going to send Fada over to mid for the time being. Another burrow strike through on Gabby. Has clipped level 6, has the stick charges, but taking quite a bit of harass. With this double stun lane, it's very dangerous to try and just regen your way back into it. Stand near the creeps, and you might eat either of the stuns. So he's got to be careful. Pops the stick, but still only half HP.
KP playing behind the tower, able to just pretty much free farm there. He doesn't want to really risk his life and playing near the Night Stalker. Has a skill point saved up, so if he needs to level up Song to save his life, he may choose to do so.
Looks like they're going to rotate Handskin around. Keeps the pressure on March. And Armel keeps on farming these Ancients, not being contested by Alliance. Getting a lot of stacks in the jungle and starting to pull ahead in the net worth department. Almost up there with the Night Stalker.
Yeah, he's suddenly well ahead of Limp. And yeah, Limp dying is part of that, but most of it is just the fact he fell back to the jungle when he had a triple stack at his big camp. He stacks his Ancients. He's just able to flash farm much faster than Limp is.
Armel working on Limp here. They do have a glimpse available. It's only level 1. Even a Thunderstrike might do it. Just gets in range with the kinetic field follow-up. Limp should be dropping. Maybe not with the Ice Path rotation from Fada. It's Armel on the back foot. He has Refraction. Will be using it. Fada now, an aggressive strut up onto the high ground. Will he pay? Into the Roche pit. Trying to fog out Tims, who now runs into the Ice Path. It's Tim's turn to maybe be in too far, but that last auto attack secures the kill. Gets the XP, which he definitely needed. Hits level 5. So delicate dance. Then both supports drop.
Well, good understand. He waits as long as possible before popping Refract. He had the damage over time from the Jakira on him, so doesn't panic and spam the Refract, just waits until it pretty much wears off, and he's very low in health, but gets Refract off, able to help his Disruptor turn around, get a kill.
So, how do you feel about the way the lanes have gone overall, Gods, with TNC having this tri-core?
They've gone slightly Alliance favored, I think, even though TA kind of recovered the mid lane and pulled ahead, just because Night Stalker is free farming. And Gabby has seen a decent amount of pressure on him.
Well, Tombstone does get dropped here. They're going to catch out Handskin. 2 for 2 on the bounty runes, but it might be a 2 for 0 on the hero kills. 33 chasing in onto March, has Limp there in reserve. He goes in with the Epicenter. Do they have detection for him? They drop the Sentry Ward, pull him back in, gets back to the Shrine, gets off the Decay, and gets the kill and lives to tell the tale. A double for March. Oh, that was a big swing.
Yeah, nice preemptive plays from TNC there, making sure they had the numbers, they had the heroes to contest and defend these bounty runes. Even though they don't get a bounty rune trade that's favorable to them, they get the hero kills.
All the while, KP is just cutting this wave top. He's brought the tower down almost to half with the help of the creeps.
He's playing kind of just like a carry Naga right now. I'll be curious to see where he goes item-wise. Diffusal Manta is your typical Naga items, but when you're playing with CKTA, you'd maybe expect more of a utility build.
Well, CK going for the Echo Saber, at least for now. Gabby has it queued up, so not Heart Rush like we've often seen. Occasionally we see a Midas. So it looks like they want Gabby to be the tempo controller, the fighter in the mid-game, and give that Naga a little more space.
Yeah, I like the idea that you can't go ultra greedy or try and farm like super big items on this TNC side when you do have 3 greedy cores. You need at least some of your cores to be as ready as possible to fight early on. They're trying to set bottom with a Song here. Disruptor is there with a Static Storm follow-up. KP hasn't shown himself, and they are baiting Gabby, but Alliance seem to have an idea that this is a bait.
They've sniffed it out. They're actually going to scan, smoke, and rotate, but they are bringing a lot here.
Yeah.
Could be walking into a trap as TNC move out, march out in front. Handskin swinging around from the west, and the Sawning initiation. They've isolated the Death Prophet. Can they burst her in time? Static Storm committed, and she is completely caught out. Easy takedown. Handskin just backed off instantly.
That could have been a lot worse for Alliance. considering 33 was just in the neighborhood looking to take that fight. And the rest of Alliance, Hanskin and Fada, the two supports, were also smoked up heading bottom.
They might try to fight now, knowing the song's on cooldown.
That's the big combo. And if you're TNC, you're like, let's not engage, let's not take a fight, because they were hoping to catch 2, 3, 4 heroes in that Song of the Siren Static Storm combo. Only got the one. It's a very big kill. It's the tempo here. It's the Death Prophet. Exorcism is what Alliance is looking to push around, so it's in some ways the most important kill you can get. But at the same time, you have to respect those long cooldowns.
They're on the move, and they're going to find KP here. Gets off the net, pulls in that Lina. 2-second stun. She's almost dead already. The armlet decapitation from the CK, and now he's going to pop his ultimate. Get to work, but disjoints and gets back to safety. Nico Baby rushing in now, wants to engage, wants to get active, has to respect that CK stun, though. He could die quickly to these illusions if he's not careful. Gabby lobbing like he wants to go. Here comes the epicenter. They're diving the tower with the Veil and the Sandstorm. The AoE damage immense, but Gabby staying alive for now. Only for now. They've lost 4. It's a clean sweep for Alliance and a tier 1 to boot.
Yeah. I love it. Nico Baby TPing in. So many of these carry Night Stalkers you see just stay in their safe lane until they finish Ag Scepter. Alliance understand that with Song and Static Storm down, they are just way stronger than TNC. So Nico Baby's like, sure, I'll TP into this fight. Comes with the Dark Ascension and helps clean up the fight.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Armel did take the tier 1. He's got his blink complete already, on his way to a Desolator. So he is farming well. Gabby working towards the Echo Saber. And it looks like Naga is going to be building a pipe.
Yeah.
Or at least a hood initially.
So much magic damage on this Dire side. I feel like it's too greedy to go like carry items on all 3 of these cores.
Top lane. Tim's, he's in pretty far. Drops the Static Storm, gets off the kinetic field, but it doesn't cover the whole kinetic field. And 33 get chased. They've got Dust waiting. He jumps out with the Burrow Strike. Blink forward from TA, keeps the vision going. Can they get that follow-up stun Reality Rift combination to lock him down? They get the Thunder Strike, they get the crit, they get the kill. Nicely played. And now they can transition into a tower push. That should be the death of this tower. And with it, almost a Desolator complete. As KP is being hounded bottom, he has his song. He may need to use it just to save his own life. No, Alliance don't want to chase. It is daytime. And 15-minute bounty runes are on the menu now. With these tier 1s down, we may just see a 2-for-2 trade.
If TNC want, they may try rotate and TP bottom. With Naga already there, they can set up to contest bottom. They pretty much have free bounty runes top, so it's up to them whether they decide to fight down here. Naga is there with illusions.
They don't have Static Storm or Phantasm at the moment, so it'd be a
Probably
risky
not.
fight.
I think
But
Naga
KP could song, grab a bounty, and then just get out. Is it worth it? Probably not. He'll just back away.
Yeah. He was trying to deny one with a illusion, but Alliance already there. But yeah, he's got the pipe queued up now, so not just the hood, it looks like a full pipe, and he's going to be that utility Naga. I may even see items like, you know, a Blink Dagger so we can just song Blink in, catch as many heroes as possible. Could see him go into the Vlads. They have enough physical damage coming out of TACK that him itemizing to like Diffusal Manta would just not really work for their lineup.
Hanskin, I believe this ward was scouted. Radiant ping came out. Just the scene it getting placed. So what's next as far as these teams go, Gods? We've got the Nico Baby Ags online. Exorcism is up. Yule's almost complete on that DP. We just going to see more farming, or is there a move on the horizon for one of these teams?
You know, Alliance, they're ready to go. The Ags being complete on Night Stalker. This is go time. Perhaps they want Limp's Yule Scepter, but with level 2 Exorcism and Night Stalker Ags, and it's nighttime for 4 more minutes, Alliance aren't looking to sit back and play too passively. They do have to be careful, though. The burst of the TA with Deso and the CK, they will blow up Limp very quickly here. But Alliance have so many AoE stuns, something that I know Fog mentioned, like the LSA, the Burrow Strike, the Jakira Ice Path. These are the kind of spells you hate playing into as a CK. They just destroy your damage output when your illusions and your hero are just being stunned up.
Tims, he was waiting for a long time to get that Observer. Finally grabs it. But Hanskin on the chase, Nico Baby as well, and Tims will pay. It looks, even going to commit the Dark Ascension to secure this one. Gets the Crippling Fear off, isolates the Disruptor, secures the kill. But a ward, you know, and a Dark Ascension committed.
Yeah.
So I think you'll take that if you're Disruptor.
I think so too. Dark Ascension, even though it's still going to be nighttime, the Dark Ascension is such a power boost. So you remove that, and that kind of means you're not as afraid of Alliance at this stage of the game. Ultimately, Alliance can't really overcommit right now because of that teamfight wombo combo. The Naga plus Disruptor and the physical damage of TNC is something to be worried about. TNC, despite being night, they're going Roche.
They know Dark Ascension's down, but it is nighttime, and it is scary.
I like this if KP can get there. He's the Song of the Siren that can kind of make this teamfight work.
Dire Observer Ward comes out. They've seen March wandering around. They have to know something's up.
KP TP's in. So they've got Song, Static Storm combo, and Alliance.
Fada, though, getting slowed down. This Roche is dropping quickly. Lays in the Macropyre. They're going to commit for this. KP sitting there on the side of the fight. He gets silenced, but it doesn't matter. Age is secured and also denied, and now the Psalm, they're looking for more. Here comes the Disruptor. Static Storm, Kinetic Field combo. The Epicenter's too late. They're going to isolate the one, blow up Nico Baby. Dominating streak ended, but now they fight into Fada. He gets one kill. Aegis now down, and DP ult still going. Has to be careful, though. There's the Lina stun. Laguna Blade onto the TA. They're going to get Armel twice. They kill him off through the Aegis. They lose the CK. Alliance still fighting strong, salvaging this fight. Now turning back for KP on the Naga. He looks to retreat out of here, but it's going to be a tough retreat with Hanskin every inch of the way, stunning and nuking him down. So they end up getting 4, and all 4 go to limp.
Wow.
So much for that rough start in the mid lane.
Yeah, TNC execute the teamfight how you'd expect. They get the Song, they catch 2, which is, you know, the amount you can kind of expect out of a Naga Disruptor combo. You're not realistically going to get more than 2 unless Alliance are really out of position, but Limp just goes ignored the entire fight. And something mentioned, you know, the CK, he's just getting kind of kited around. He's unable to really blow up the Death Prophet like he'd like to. Limp has all that sustain from Spirit Siphons and
had a heart queued up and has had second thoughts. It is now BKB time, says Gabby.
yeah,
It is definitely a mandatory BKB game.
so many stuns. Death Prophet silence, Night Stalker silence.
Wonder if he should have gotten it before the Echo Saber. Like, with the way this game is developed. Obviously, easy to say in hindsight, but he is not going to be able to fight effectively in a larger scale engagement without the BKB. They got the Nico Baby kill, though. He's been slowed down, and TA is queen of net worth.
Unfortunately, have to blow their Aegis right away, and Alliance, they're smoked up, looking
Great
to punish
positioning
top.
by March. He's ready to break this, and he will. Starts running away immediately. Had the Observer Ward as well. They're going to chase him onto the Shrine. Sandcane Burrow String, but Armel just blinking out in time. They're going to commit for this Undying. Throw in the Laguna Blade. They really want the kill as the Bounty Rune spawn, but March is alive. He's just fine. It's Fada who's got a TP out. The Glimpse to cancel, and the punish is there. They take down the Twin Head.
Oh, ambitious play from Fada. Tried to run in and snipe that Bounty Rune. He's like, oh, you're not picking it up Undying? I'll go for this. But
really have to compliment March on his positioning there as a support. Anticipated that rotation, potential smoke.
Yep.
And of course, being Undying, you have the luxury of actually living when they find you.
Yes. It's a very tough place to fight into Undying when you can just put a tombstone on a cliff like that. It gives you such an edge in those scenarios.
TA blink out. Oh, Armel.
Had a 6th sense.
And even BM in all chat, but well deserved. Epicenter, not that long of a cooldown. He'll have it in a minute and a half.
Yeah. Not the end of the world. And TNC, they're looking just to farm these double BKBs. They're going to be pretty scary next team fight when both Chaos Knight and Templar Assassin have BKB.
Here comes the smoke. TNC looking to make a move. They've got Gabby in tow along with Tims. Just pushing in that middle wave, rotating to bottom. Maybe anticipating a move towards the Naga.
Not sure what this move is about. It looks like March is just trying to get down some wards. Perhaps they're not really aggressively pushing out with the smoke. There's only 3 of them smoked up, and that's not a team fight. That's like a let's get one pick off and run away as fast as possible kind of smoke.
Yeah, the only other thing, maybe expecting Alliance to gank, but it is daytime. There is a Dark Ascension, I suppose.
Tims is very close to Ag Scepter on Disruptor.
That's such a fast Ags.
Yeah, they need this too because Nico Baby now has BKB. He's the front liner, so he's typically going to get caught in the Song of the Siren. So if you can Song him pre-BKB and then you've got the Static Storm to drop on him, prevent him from popping his items, you're in a fantastic spot.
Keeping up with Lina as Disruptor is pretty insane. You know, he's only 600 gold down. Been involved in 10 kills.
He maxed his Thunderstrike first. Normally you see maybe just 2 points in it because it like increases the damage quite a lot at level 2. But he just maxed it, then he gets the talent, so he's very happy.
It lets you farm and keep up.
You just clear creep waves when you just drop it on a creep wave, so.
I think it suits this lineup also because they're not that gank focused. They're more of a, you know, tri-core, let's farm for late game kind of draft.
He's gotten so many levels that it hasn't really come at the cost of them losing kills because he hasn't had the levels in Glimpse, so definitely working out.
So TA already with a BKB, far and ahead, leader in net worth. Not a hero Night Stalker can take.
CK is not far behind too. He's just 50 gold. He has his BKB, so double BKB on the TNC side. This is where they would love to have an Aegis. Unfortunately, having lost it, they're going to have to wait like another 3 to 5 minutes to get a Roche fight or get themselves an Aegis, but they are damn scary right now. All their items coming up, double BKB, just 600 gold for Tims until he has Ag. So they're going to try to give Tims as much farm as possible and then secure next Roshan. The good news is they're going to hit all these item times and it's Roche number 2, so it actually gives them not just Aegis, but cheese. So
and CK definitely a good cheese carrier with his very high HP pool.
That is very true. So I like how things look for TNC during this next 3 to 5 minutes, but if Alliance can kind of pick and choose their fights, make sure they don't let that Ags Disruptor catch them by surprise, you know, they just need to survive their way through this little timing.
And do you see Alliance, if they just don't feed, eventually pulling ahead in the late game?
I mean, Death Prophet, if she can just get tanky enough, needs a lot of armor this game. Definitely possible. They just need to survive against this physical damage, which both Nico Baby and Limp are doing. Has an AC queued up. The other getting a Shiver's Guard. Late game Dota, though, TA now has this level 25 meld hit bash, so even TA is a much scarier late game beast than she used to be. So no clear-cut, I think, advantage.
And that is a great talent to have versus Night Stalker, especially.
Yeah. I do like the Alliance side just having all these AoE stuns when it goes late game. Like, CK is just not going to feel scary with Phantasm in these team fights.
Double damage rune on this TA. They're going to try to force out the BKB, catch him out with the Ice Path. No follow-up. Now the engagement happening on the south side where they will catch out March. He drops Tombstone. They get the kill. They get the tomb as well. Okay. Disengage from TNC. Bounties are spawning, and they're going to look to contest bottom. Gabby's getting 1, maybe thinks he can get 2. He'll be late to this, and he won't get it. Can they force out the BKB? They slow him down with the Spirit Siphon. They're going to chase him. A lot of slow stacking up here. If he BKBs, it might just be too late. He's going to pop his ultimate now. Goes to work on Fada. Gabby almost dead, and Nico Baby cleaning up. They got the silence on the Naga so that she couldn't song to save the day, and now they're chasing. Looking for Tims. This is a Night Stalker's wet dream. Catch that Disruptor out, kill him off right quick. And just like that, Alliance seize the initiative, find their footing, and pull ahead.
They just used their vision so well. They have 3 Observer Wards down bottom. They saw CK going alone for those bounty runes. Limp preemptively popping Exorcism to make sure they had the damage to kill him off, and what a great punish. TNC had all their heroes in the top lane. They would TP down to try and help, but it just came too late, so.
He really underestimated the damage, I feel like, holding the BKB that long.
Yeah. He needed to just BKB, stun, and run, but he was already like 300 health before he did. He would have lived if he did that, but he was just hoping to save his BKB, and the greed of Gabby ends up punishing him. Luckily, no Roshan for Alliance to claim while he was dead, and now Exorcism is on cooldown. So the upside of what just happened is you now have a 1 minute window where you feel like you can achieve a lot if you're TNC. Unfortunately, it is going to be a long Roche respawn.
With this dire vision, though, Smoke might get scouted. I mean, look at the Observer wards that
5
they
wards.
have right now. It's insane. March dropping a ward is going to get a D ward here. Not in range of the obs, though. TNC might think it's safe.
And there's another observer ward right by that, which is gone undetected.
Yeah, yeah. So Alliance just hanging out. A little standoff in the middle lane. Sounding the bugle, but not sure they're moving in with the bugle. And that ward did not see this, but it did see heroes roaming around in the area not too long ago. They're going to head up towards the high ground, move on to 33. Quick jump forward from Armel. Massive damage being done. Chews up that Scorpion. Secures the kill. And now they look for more. Fada in danger. Just a quick glimpse will do the trick. A stun follows in one way, then the other. And in the end, it connects for a kill. So now the way to Roche lying open, and Roche not up just
coming
yet.
back. Yeah. TNC's like,
they're like, all right, buddy, come on out.
This is almost, I think this is more or less a max length respawn on Roche, or at least within like 5 or 10 seconds of the max.
They'll wait it out.
They're really hoping. Armel's preemptively melding.
He's
so
got
like
the Orchid coming out, by the way.
Ooh, nice.
There's only the one BKB. There are 2 Yule Scepters, though. One on the DP, one on the Lina.
Ghost Scepter on Jakiro. So there's not many obvious insta-kills that he can get from this. Just really the Sand King, and even Sand King might be able to like fast fingers blink away, but it's still a very good item. You want to have this Bloodthorn late game typically as TA.
Alliance are not going to give this up. They're smoking. They've got Dark Ascension. They've got the BKB on the Night Stalker. No blink, though. He's gone for the AC first.
KP with an arcane.
And into the pit he marches. Armel is lurking. Roshan respawns. Right as Nico Baby comes in, takes a quick meld, then the blink away. March now isolated, but here's the song. Get ready for Static Storm. Get ready for Kinetic Field, and that is an Aghanim's upgraded variety. Handskin easily dealt with. Now Nico Baby trying to get to these backliners. He'll bring down the Disruptor, but it comes at a cost. A triple buyback. He's blown his BKB. Now he needs to get out. Disruptor doesn't have the buyback, so no glimpse to catch him. Tombstone just chilling in the pit. Roshan slaying zombies.
Good news of the buybacks is they still have Exorcism, so Alliance may feel confident they can go into the pit with Song and Static Storm on cooldown.
And TA BKB, and Phantasm, and CK BKB. So both teams pretty neutered. And with no BKBs, you generally would favor Alliance with all these stuns.
But something they may not consider is KP did have an Arcane Rune, so his Song of the Siren will come up much earlier than Alliance might expect.
Not this early, though. And they're trying to jump on him.
See
Blink Burrow initiation. He's still got 30 seconds on that. 4-step away. Has the pipe. He is a tough Naga to kill. And Alliance will have to back away.
Static Storm also up in 20 seconds. It's not the longest of cooldowns. So both Song and Static Storm are back up in 15 seconds. Alliance cannot really fight once again, it feels like. Or if they are fighting, they need to be the ones getting the jump and blowing up one of those 2 heroes of that combo, either Naga or Disruptor.
Oh, not again. They can't afford to be getting caught out here. Handskin glimpsed on back. Armel with another assassination.
Should be Roche, I feel.
They have Naga in position with Song, and Alliance will scatter. Start pushing out other lanes, taking bounty runes or illusion runes on the south side. But the Roche will be claimed by TNC.
Core Disruptor posing such a big threat on this game.
They haven't solved Alliance yet in Game 2, but they're starting to pull ahead, and it feels like they may have come up with a better way to deal with the Night Stalker this time around.
Yes. Feels like the Night Stalker, despite all his farm and items, he's had a great game, 7-1-3. Just can't get into these fights. And Death Prophet, similar story.
This TA is just getting massive now.
It's spooky.
Nullifier not far off. Armel will mow down that tier 2. It's TNC taking the fight to Alliance. 18-17 the score. Only a 5k gold lead. Still either team's game.
Yeah, this Nullifier is going to ruin some of these saves on the Alliance side. Limp can't use his Yules defensively. Fada can't use his Ghost Scepter. Being able to purge these off makes such a big difference.
Yeah, they're pretty item reliant.
Oh yeah, and there's now 2 heroes that can remove items. Disruptor and AoE, Armel with a single target Nullifier, so that is very smart play and itemization coming from TNC.
They'll take over the Dire jungle, they'll get some good wards down, and the vision that Alliance once had is significantly diminished. You see a very defensive ward back near their mid lane. They still have the 2 on the left side of the middle lane, but it doesn't seem like they're likely to use that vision anytime soon. So they are playing much more in the dark and much more defensively.
KP with an Aghanim Scepter queued up. He has the gold for it after this creep wave, so we could be looking at that AoE heal coming to play. And it is a lot of AoE damage on the Alliance side, so...
It's like their answer to the Chen, you know? It's like, well, you have infinite heals, so do we.
Yeah.
That plus the pipe, it's hard to win a fight.
Yeah. I'd say at the same time, the song is typically being used to initiate when, you know, when you're starting a fight, you're often full health, so I'm not sure it's always going to have this crazy impact.
If he's like late to a fight, yes, I imagine, or if someone gets caught.
Battle for the Cliff Wards.
Fada going in. And that's okay because TNC just want the tier 1 for now. Still up at 33 minutes, but no longer.
This 4-star for KP. Proven to be basically a better Blink Dagger in some ways this game. He's able to maneuver around the same way he does a Blink, but
there's the jump onto Fada. Ghost Scepter instantly assassinated by Armel. He is dead.
Orchid Nullifier in a nutshell. You can't use spells, can't use items. You just die.
And you die fast. Armel is angry. That game 1 did not go the way that TNC wanted, but here in game 2 with a CK now at almost 5,000 health, they are smashing this front door down in the bottom lane. Alliance backing off. They are going to catch out Handskin. Nullifier lobbed in again. Cancels that, Yules, and here comes the buyback. They'll try to initiate. Great Burrow Strike catches out 3. Is this the fight for 33? Epicenter coming through. March and the TA blown up. Remember, she's got Aegis. They lock down KP on the Naga. The song is answered. He is dead. You can sing in the grave, lady. But now coming back for round 2. Gabby with the BKB. Working with Armel, trying to bring down the Night Stalker. They slay him. They look for more. Static Storm was deployed, and they get another kill. Limp has fallen. Out for 100. That's a dieback. And this could be trouble for Fada. He can't stand against the CA. Nullifier winning the fights, maybe winning the game for TNC. 3 heroes out. They threw so much at TNC, but the extra lives, the resets, made the difference.
It was a really good attempt from Alliance. They understood they had to... Night Stalker just gets on top of KP, stops him from using the song with the silence, but unfortunately, the Disruptors still managed to go for good ultimate, and then the 2 carries, the TA and the CK, they're just
TA's got a
far.
DD.
Yeah.
This is probably 2 lanes. We might just see Alliance GG out.
Yeah, this game's looking very difficult. There's the level 25 talent on TA as well.
33 will try to stall this with the Burrow Strike, but Armel's focused on buildings.
Yep.
No, never mind that. he was thinking about 33.
That's a BKB down.
Yeah, it's cost him very little, just a few seconds of double damage time. Melee completed in the middle lane. Melee completed in the bottom lane. Head to top, Armel says. We've got 30 seconds. No Death Prophet. Clear out the wave. Not sure if they'll stick around. Yeah, he will. Works on the catapult. And now over to the tier 3 tower. The team's still backing him up. One-man siege army, 9, 2, and 8. And remember, Armel gave up a solo kill at the start of this game to the DP, but the stacks by the Disruptor, couple of key fights really brought him back. And now TNC are feeling it. They're going to again focus the Sand King. You Burrow Strike in, you get hit by the Nullifier, you die, good sir. And now KP with the song. Going to reset the fight. At least Nico Baby as the one man against the TNC army who BKB stand in the Macro Pyre. Everyone healed up. Static Storm deployed. They have caged the Vampire. And they will slay the Vampire. A stake through the heart. And now a chase into the fountain. Looking for Fada. Ghost Scepter allows him to retreat. But here comes Armel with the Bash talent. Just chewing up Limp. Nothing to limp back to the fountain with. He is dead, and the game is won. TNC take it to a game 3.
That's the TNC. I think the Southeast Asian Dota fans were expecting to show up today. They crushed their group, went 4-0, and despite losing game 1, they bounced back in a very convincing fashion here. Just over 36 minutes, and you know they look pretty dominant. It wasn't the fast start maybe that you sometimes see from TNC, but once the TA caught up, got those items online, they knew how to execute their team fight with the Naga Disruptor.
Could have strategic implications for the series because, you know, Alliance went for the first pick Night Stalker, so maybe you leave the Night Stalker in the pool, maybe you have to ban it so TNC can't take it. They're really the progenitors of those Night Stalker picks.
And showing they can just pick up this Naga Siren first too. They ran in the off lane, you know, you're always worried that it could be a safe lane as well. You don't quite know what to expect from it. But for TNC side, it gets them wins, and that's a kind of new hero that's emerging in the TNC playbook that you have to now worry about, not just some of the other stuff you've seen at previous tournaments.
Yeah, this is not a draft anyone would have predicted, but hey, anything can work in Dota, and anything did work here. TNC, they'll take game 2. To break it down further, it's back to our panel.
Thank you. It seemed like TNC, you know, they made Alliance work so hard for that first game that there was nothing really left in the tank for Alliance again too.
Tapped out.
There you go.
Went all in on that.
It
first
worked
game.
out.
And it worked out, but with stuff that I wasn't expecting. KP Naga Siren making a resurgence after a 2-year
been a while.
hiatus possibly.
Yeah.
And I think that it was dependent on having the Disruptor paired with it, though.
Yep.
The setup for the Ag Static Storm seemed to be what they were going for, and it didn't matter what heroes Alliance threw at them, they had a solution for it.
Yeah, I like the way, like, you know, I was heavy on Tim's in the first game. I think in this one he redeemed himself completely, not only just with the Static Storm, but just the small things of him just like sitting around the mid lane and getting those stacks. Armel, he died, right? He died inside the laning phase, went back. Oh, triple stack hard camp, triple stack medium camp, triple stack ancients. He's back. He gets the kill as well onto Limp. He's level 9. Limp was level 7. Armel overall had an excellent game because of how Tim's played around him. Thought that was one of the bigger things for me. Yeah. At least in that one.
Almost had your prediction right.
I mean, there's a little bit of statistical anomalies here and again, but I was in the realm.
It was like 4 minutes off. It's not bad.
4 minutes, not bad. It was one bounty rune off.
Yeah.
But we both did say we did like alliances draft.
Yes,
so
okay. That is definitely
true. But I didn't know anything about Naga Siren. I didn't know what her timings were. I didn't know how she would do in lane, and now everyone has some data on it.
Yeah.
And so TNC unleashed that now in playoffs, and they also showed that there's a solution to Night Stalker 1 position, because that's also something that people didn't know what could do.
Was this really the Naga Siren though? Like, was it all her and her setup?
I think he did make a really big difference. I think his itemization was also fantastic. We talked about how you look at Alliance's draft, they're all magical damage, their physical is pretty limited. It's sure Exorcism and Night Stalker provided, same thing with Lina, but the itemization by KP was perfect. The pipe and then the Force Staff. I think he saved He saved himself twice, he saved a couple teammates a couple times too. Really good itemization in the way they played around their draft, and I was mentioning how they had to pick and choose their battles, and I feel like they did pick and choose their battles very nicely with the Naga combo.
Still can't say I'm sold on the CK. I don't think the CK did something that a lot of other 1 positions couldn't do.
Yeah. I'm surprised how well he actually did bottom, but I think the sustain from CK is insane, especially when you have an Undying, so it kind of ended up making sense. But
and you weren't even thrilled with his itemization. Gabby's itemization, the Echo Saber, you consider to be...
I felt like it just kind of slowed them down a little bit. I feel like he could have just gone for his other items, and it would have been done like the same thing, but...
It felt for me also that if you compare game 1 and 2, I felt like Armel had a lot better game, just personally.
Much better.
For him. And it makes me wonder, like, how much of this game did we see individual performance being different from game 1? Like, I felt like Armel stepped it up.
Tim stepped it up.
Tim stepped it up. Like, is that just, you know, the individual performance making that big of a difference as well?
I think it can make a bit of a difference. I think also I saw March. I don't want to say he was like sleeping in the first game or anything like that, but like I saw him like cutting into backlines, putting down these really aggressive wards in this game. When last game, I feel like they lost so much control that March was just like, I don't know what the hell I can do as a captain. This game he had much more free reign. They're like, oh, we have all these vision heroes. I can walk in and actually put a ward down and have an impact in the game. So I felt like individual skill for sure can make a difference, but I felt like in that one they had a lot more leeway. They weren't like trapped in their side of the map.
They also had a much clearer strategy overall. Like you said, not only March having vision, but we were mentioning in the draft the TA providing vision for all the glimpses earlier on, and it wasn't. What was their strategy in game 1? Just get Bristleback super farmed, and
frontline Bristle, get OD in backline with Heavenly Grace beating on people.
Yeah.
So it seemed like 2 separate strategies, like the OD and the Omni were paired, the Coddle and the Bristle were paired, but it wasn't really a full team thing. Whereas in game 2, the draft definitely was centered more around 5 heroes.
Yeah.
You guys also didn't like the lack of stuns on TNC going into the game? It turned out not to matter that much.
It was perfect, yeah.
Why didn't it matter that much? Because normally it's the stereotypical get stuns win game.
Yeah, especially against a Night Stalker that was such a slippery hero that's proven to be time and time again. Like, once he gets Dark Ascension, then he's just going to start being very slippery overall. I guess this time they were getting a lot more pickoffs because of the glimpses and stuff like that. So
yeah.
full-on team fights, you didn't need to specifically disable one hero. You're just like, let me just take this hero out of your game real quick, and then if you want to fight us, then it's going to have to be a 4-on-5. Otherwise, you need to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The disruptor working well from ahead.
And
so no tail's wrong.
Yeah. Well, we know that it works well from ahead, but the moment you get behind, you start, you know, falling off.
He had a sick play though, also as well. In, like that last team fight, he was just chilling. I don't know if he was glimmered or shadow amulet.
Yeah,
or
I think it was
looked
amulet.
like a shamulet.
He was in this forever.
And he survived all the way till the end. I saw 33. Like he tried to guess where he was at the burrow, missed, and then he gets a static storm on like 2 or 3 heroes. So yeah, there's definitely, like you said, individual play that definitely came out of for TNC in that game. But
all you need to do is like have a 17-minute game warm up. Easy.
No, easy peasy.
Now
gets those fingers, gets the blood pumping.
Yeah,
who
it
needs
makes
the
a
hand
difference.
warmers? It does.
It does indeed. It also felt like it made a difference for Alliance. Like we're talking about improvement from TNC. Alliance kind of underestimated TNC, perhaps, thinking, you know, if we do the same thing again, we win again.
What was up with the Blightstone on Lina?
I don't. I want to ask Hanskin because we both like, look, wait, Blightstone, Lina, he has a Sand King in his lane. Why wouldn't he go for the Bassi early on? You get the armor, your extras. I don't know how much of a difference it really made. I saw CK farmed really hard in the lane, which maybe it could have made a difference, but that wouldn't have picking a little bit. But that's what these things add up, definitely for sure. So
they do. And we're going to find out what's going to happen in Game 3. Now that both teams got a win under their belt, who moves on to the upper bracket and who gets knocked down to the lower bracket, we're going to find out soon.